Hi, hello viewers. Welcome back to my channel, SAP Beginners. So today let's discuss about project systems, and I'll just give a brief introduction on project systems in this video, so that you'll get some useful information on this module. Let's get started. So yeah, in this video you'll be discussing about. I'll just give a brief introduction to the PS module, which is project systems. So, and in this video, we'll be discussing about the purpose of PS module, what are its features and its integration, and what is the organization structure of when coming to the PS module, and the different types of currencies that we use in our project systems module, and reporting. So, these topics we'll be discussing in this video. What is first one is the purpose of project systems. So in the project systems, generally in any project or in any organization or in any business, we starting from building a factory or starting from building a business unit or admin office, something that you build, whether it is a big or whether it is a small, it should require a precise planning with all associated activities. Like each and every activity should be recorded, and very precise and complete detailed planning is required. From small to big, building of a factory, whether it is or whether it is business unit or some manufacturing plant or some admin building, so each and everything, whatever it can be, but it should have a precise planning with all associated activities. So what is the job of a project manager is to ensure that the project is executed efficiently within time and within the budget. So how this can be achieved? Efficiency in time and within budget. So these all can be achieved by ensuring all required resources and funds are available when needed. Required resources means we can consider people who will be working in that building of a project or execution of a project, and then also the material or some objects related kind. So those are also we can call as required resources are within time. That means a planning is required so that all the resources are available in time, and also early planning is required for the funds. So if some procurement is coming ahead, so from now onwards you'll need to prepare how and from where the funds will be allocated to that. So all detailed planning is required for each and every past, present, and future, and then it should be available as and when required. So this is the job of a project manager to plan accordingly the availability of resources and funds, and then execute the project in time and within the budget, and that too with better efficiency or high efficiency. So this is the job of a project manager. And what is a project means? Project of any size, which is starting from building a factory to very big, should require a precise planning with all associated activities. This is primary purpose in the project systems we can see, and there are other purposes also. Let's see. Um, okay, projects are generally part of internal process of a company to to control all the tasks in the project execution. Some organizational form is required that is specific to the project, and also shared to all departments or all modules involved. And before you can carry out a project on its entirety, the project goals must be precisely described and activities are properly structured. A clear and unambiguous project structure is very basic for a successful project planning, monitoring and control. So in this slide what we are discussing is, see, execution of a project, controlling of a project, and monitoring of a project is all the internal processes of a company. Okay, and to control all the tasks that are planned within a project, it also needs some organization structure that is related to project systems, and also involving the other modules or other departments that are involved. I'll say with example. So in the PS module, the structure will be project definition, WBS, and network activities. Like this, how the structure is divided. Okay, and WBS elements will be using in the procurement. So whether it can be a purchase requisition or purchase order, a time in the account assignment, when we select account assignment category as a projects, then you will be getting a field called WBSC element, and there you have to provide the WBSC element, so that the cost of the purchase order will be recorded against the WBSC element. So this is a scenario where it is project systems is linked with the or involved with the supply chain, or we can say department. Okay, so the organizational structure that we refer within the project systems module should also be shared by the department. If you consider here, so I'm creating a WBSC element under say 1000 company code. So the purchase order which we create also should come under the 1000 company code. Okay, the company code should be 1000, and the purchase org and we say plant can be related to the material. Sometimes a plant is also maintained in the WBS element. In that cases, we need to have the same company code and same plant. But i- if you observe, the organizational structure is a shared between the project systems and also the department. So in this way, a particular organization structure is required for a project systems, and that should be shared by other departments or modules that are involved. And whatever the activities that you carry out in a project, it should be very well defined, very well structured and very well planned. Then only you can get a correct or better efficiency, and all the activities will be gone in time and within the budget. So all this very well defined, it should be very well defined, then only you can achieve the target. So in that scenario, the project goals should be very precisely described. This is this, and this is required, this and this is not required, this should be here only, this should be here only, like so everything should be precisely described. And the project activities also should be properly structured. Whenever the project structure is correctly structured or properly structured, and it is a very basic uh, structure or very basic, which is required for successful project planning, monitoring and control, and we can say even the success will also be possible in that scenarios. Okay, project planning, monitoring, control and also execution will also be successful in that, whenever the project structure is correctly or properly defined and im- designed defined. Whenever the project structure is correctly defined, designed and then configured and then implemented in the SAP system. So like this it goes. Next, if we see what are the features of the project systems, what project systems do is, project systems enables user to closely monitor all aspects which are including technical and also the commercial of a project that are involved. Mostly, as I already told, structural wise, we will be using work breakdown structure, which is WBS, and processes wise, we'll be using individual activities, work packages. Like these are the two types that we use. Mostly, it will be WBS, but in some cases, it could be work packages also. But these are the two ways that we can design the project, and these are the two ways that we can use for monitoring. So next, in the next slide, so it's about integration of project systems. The high degree of integration between the project systems and other application components means where you can plan, execute, and account for projects as a part of your normal commercial, or we can say business process. Okay, and this means the project system has a constant access to data to all departments that are involved in the project. So here what we can expect is, or what we can say from this is, wherever the planning, execution, and accounting of projects is done in the business process, there the project systems will be integrated with the application components. And also this all the departments will be having constant access to this project systems data that are involved in their process. And also project systems also has a constant access to data to in all the departments that is involving the project. It's like vice versa. Other departments which involves project system has access to project systems data, and the project wherever the project systems is involved, so those modules data will is also accessible to the project systems. So in this way, wherever the planning or the execution or the accounting of projects is part of the business, the commercial process, those all departments will be integrated with the project systems. This is how integration happens between project systems and other modules. What, how the project managers usually distinguish? So we can say there are at the higher, very higher level, we can say there are two types of projects which are externally financed project and internally financed project. So externally financed project matlab, you'll be having customer projects, and there are other types of customer projects can be again segregated based on upon its objectives, aspects, and all. But at a higher level, we can say customer projects are externally financed projects. And what are the types of internally financed projects? If we say it's a overhead cost projects, or generally we can call it as OPEX projects, which is operational expenditure projects. And also we have capital investment projects. These are usually called as investment projects or capital projects, or sometimes capex projects. Capex means capital expenditure projects. So like that, at the very higher level, project managers will have two types of projects in their mind: externally financed projects, internally financed projects. By the name itself you can identify externally financed means the funding will all the funding and the budgeting objects will be from external side. Okay, internally financed project means the funding and financing part will all be from the internal parts of organizations. So that's how internal finance project. Okay, it is like overhead, or I'll just brief it as OPEX project, and then capital investment, I'll just brief it that as a CAPEX project, which are overhead cost projects, capital investment projects. So the each of project type can I just give a brief outline to that project types, but in detail in the coming sessions or in the coming videos, whenever the process comes, right, you'll be very I'll be explaining in very particular, and you'll be understanding in detail. For now, as of introduction is just introduction. So until here, it's fine if you are aware of projects. Okay. In the next slide, if we see organization structure. So in the previous slides as already discussed that organizational structure with respect to the project systems is defined, and this organization structure that is defined in the project systems, it's also involved with the other departments. Okay, so the project system doesn't have its own organization structure, okay, that you incorporate specifically into the system. Whatever the enterprise structure which is already existing, you just make some assignments into the accounting and logistics. Similarly, it's you'll make some assignments into the project systems, and then that's how the organization structure for project system is also formed. Okay, in the SAP system, if I say it briefly, normally enterprise structure is uh, what is it configured. Okay, and then you make some assignments to accounting section and some assignments to logistics section. So logistics will be generally you can say that is linked with the supply chain, okay, or department, and accounting is something which is related to the finance and controlling. And similarly, you'll do some assignments to the project systems also. Hence the separate no separate organization structure is built for project systems, but the already existing structure is used to assign for the project systems. Okay, similar to the accounting and logistics. And it is this organization structure enables the project system to present data clearly in many different ways. That means organization structure does not just have a company code, it does not have just have a plant. It also has business area, functional area, controlling area, and you'll have some, some particular responsible cost center, some particular responsible profit center. So those and all you'll be defining in the project system, what is the structure in that. In that point of view, if we see, this organization structure enables to project the project system data in many different ways. So that's how organization structure is used in the project systems. Let me show you the organization structure, and here we can easily identify the project structure also. I'll just zoom it for better you know visibility. So first here we have the project definition. Next, under that we'll be having WBS elements, and under that here we'll be having networks, and under that we'll be having activities. This is how the structure. See, for project definition, under that we'll be having WBS. So for the WBS, we'll be assigning the networks, and for the networks, we'll be assigning internal activities. And there are four types of internal activities, which are internally processed activities, externally processed activities, general cost activities, and material components. These are like four different types of activities that are available, and we can, create individual activity accordingly, individual or multiple also we can create. So there will not be a one activity under a network, there can be multiple activities under a network. And there is no particular that only one network will be under WBS element. There can be multiple networks. Similarly, there can be multiple WBS elements under a project. So after WBS elements, so if we consider level wise, see, first level you can see here project definition, second level WBS element, third level network, fourth level activities. It may not be necessarily like that. See, first level always will be a project definition. Okay, second level can be WBS, even third level also we can have a WBS, even fourth level also we can have a WBS. Under the WBS we can build a network, and then network activities. That's how we can, build a structure See, at the let's see how organization structure is assigned to the project structure. So at the project definition level, here you're having controlling area, company code, business area, profit center, and plan. These organization structure related fields are defined in the project definition. And once you have given these fields in the project definition, those will be defaulted for the WBS elements. Okay, so whatever the for company code you will be creating project definition, for the same company code WBS element will be created. And for the same company code under the networks, for the same company code from the WBS elements, networks is created. Okay, similarly for the same company code also. So for project definition cannot have multiple company codes and multiple controlling area. It can have it can have a single company code. I don't say that for each company code there should be only one project. For one company code there can be multiple projects. For but one with one project you cannot assign it one project to multiple company codes. That's how the assignment is. And in the WBS elements, again, company code, business area, plan, profit center, and here you also have the equipment or technical location details. Responsible cost center, we have investment program, and we have jurisdiction code, and joint venture is also details. We can also, if joint venture is part of the project, then the joint venture details also can use for the organization structure point of view in the WBS elements. And in the networks, we'll be having plan, business area, profit center, jurisdiction code. And in the activities, according to the activity type, a different organization structure fields are assigned to each activity type. Once we select internally process activities, these fields are visible with respect to organization structure. If we select externally processed activities type, then these fields with respect to organization structure are allocated to the input to provide the input. Similarly, the other two activities types also. This is how the organization structure and project structure is defined. In the coming videos now you'll be having a complete idea, but for now it's a very high level overview which I am providing. If we see next, the topic is about currencies in the project systems. So there are three types of currencies. I'll just say briefly, that is controlling area currency, object currency, and transaction currency. Okay, and whenever data is flowing during the project execution, or any transaction happens, or any postings happens, so in these scenarios all the project system data, wherever the reports, it is projected or presented in these three different currencies. Okay, so we can display a project system report with these three different currencies for all the transactions that are happened against that project, which is controlling area currency, object currency, and transaction currency. I'll just give a brief idea about each type of currency and from where it is derived. If we say controlling area currency, so whenever you configure a controlling area in your system, or whenever you define a controlling area in the SAP system, at the same time you'll be providing some currency to that controlling area based upon the um, country. Okay, based upon the country you'll be providing that currency for that controlling area. Okay, so for the whole project, that means from project definition, WBS, and network activities, and if there are some internal orders that are assigned to the project, those all will be in one controlling area currency only. That means whatever the controlling area you provide in the project definition, that controlling area is applicable to entire structure. And all the whenever you see the report, if you see the report for networks and activities, for example, and in that controlling area currency, there will be a field where the report will be displayed in the controlling area currency. So the currency is the currency that is defined in the controlling area, which you provided in the project definition. So this is how the controlling area currency comes from. Here again, I repeat the 2 points which are very important. Controlling area is which is defined in the project definition is applicable to the entire structure, and the controlling area currency that is coming against the entire structure that are assigned to the project is the same currency that is defined in the controlling area of that project. Okay, that's the reason the controlling area currency will be same from project definition to uh, activities and the orders that are assigned to the project. Okay, it will be the same, and that same value will be again the controlling area, the currency that is configured in the controlling area, and that controlling area you will provide into the project definition, and from that project definition you'll give that controlling area, right? From the controlling area it picks the currency. So this is how for the entire project structure and the uh, assignments that are assigned to it will be having a same controlling area currency. Next, if you see object currency, you can assign any object currency. It is not independent, sorry, it is independent, it is not dependent, as you see controlling area currency like that, but here it is independent. So for project definition it will be sub you can maintain separate object currency. For WBS element you can maintain separate object currency. For network header separate, for network activities separate, and for the internal orders also, which will be assigned to a network or activity, that also you can maintain a separate object currency. Object currency means, so whenever you derive a report for the project system, for example for the project definition, uh, while preparing the project structure for project definition, I'll provide object currency as Indian rupee. Okay, for WBS element I'll provide object currency as USD dollars, and for network header I'll provide object currency as GBP, pounds, British pounds. Okay, in this way I'll define. So whenever I derive a report based on project definition, my value for the object, my value of that project definition, the object currency will be shown in rupees. And for if I extract the report based on WBS elements, then the value will be based on currency, dollars, USD. And if I derive the report based on network headers, then my value against the network header activities will be in pounds currency. So in this way it will be defined. If you have assigned a number of company codes to a controlling area, and the company's codes have different currencies, you cannot allocate the object currency. The system automatically uses the local currency of respective current company code. Okay, so here what I defined is, for a single controlling area, you are assigning multiple company codes. Okay, for example, I say, for controlling area 1000, I'm assigning a company code 1010 Germany, and 1710 which is US America. Say for 1000 controlling area, I'm assigning Germany company code and also assigning US company code. Okay, for Germany company code my currency will be GBP, which is pounds, and for US company code my currency will be USD, which is dollars. Okay, so in this scenario, if you observe, uh, single controlling area is having multiple company codes with different currencies. In that scenario, I just cannot allocate a object currency. The system automatically uses the currency of the company code that you provide. Okay, that means in the project definition, you'll be having a field called company code. In some cases, it is most of the cases it is mandatory, because a project is defined for a company code. Okay, so that's company code is mandatory filled in the project definition, and for the same company code, WBS elements will be created. So if the currency, the object currency will be extracted from the company code, or it automatically fetches from the company code. You no need to provide it separately. It automatically fetches from the company code. Okay, in such scenario, if your controlling area has multiple company codes with different currencies, in such scenario system automatically fetches currency from the company code. This is how the object currency and its use. Next we have one more currency, which is transaction currency. Transaction currency, by name itself I can say it is a transaction basis. Okay, the cost and revenues are arising from different transactions, okay, against the project it is recorded. It can be of different currencies based upon the transaction. For example, cost and revenues, I'll say. Cost means I procure something that is an expenditure to me, and I should have to, do the payment to my vendor who is providing the material. Okay, revenue means we can say sales. So a customer is a customer is providing an order, and I am distributing that to my customer, and I will be paid for the product which I disperse to the customer or provided to the customer. So in that scenario I'll generate a revenue. Okay, so for procuring I'll be having cost, and by selling I'll be having a revenue. So in this scenario, my procurement can be of different currency. So I procure something from America. So that transaction currency will be in dollars. I procure something from India itself. So that currency will be in rupees. I procure something from Germany. That currency will be in GBP. And so in this way, my currency will be different when I do some cost. Similarly for revenues, I provide some product to customer who lives in India. So in that scenario, it will be rupees. Who pays me from America, then my revenue will be in USD. Somebody who pays from Germany, and that will be in pounds. So in this way, my transaction currency will be different based upon the type of transaction that is coming against the project. So in this scenario, what we do is, uh, here I just written a brief example also. Planning also takes account of business transaction currencies. Okay, so while planning itself, we also consider this business transaction currencies in our mind, and also do some configure wherever the assignment is required, that we do. For example, for external processed activity in the system takes the currency from the purchasing info record. All right, whenever I'm procuring something, the currency will be taken from the purchase information record. This purchase information record is for a particular vendor. I'm procuring a particular material, and for that this and this amount, this and this currency. This is what the purchase info record has. So it derives, whenever I procure something, it derives currency from the purchase info record. For example, if there is no currency that is maintained in purchase info record, what you'll do? I'll just maintain manually in that procurement order, which I can say purchase order. I just manually maintain that. So, like this, in planning also, finance flow is always displayed in the project by currency. In this way, the transaction currency varies. It is just not always come from so and so record, so and so config, so and so master data. Sometimes it is required to be maintained manually also. That's how the transaction currency varies. Okay, and so okay. That's how the transaction currency varies. And whenever a report is extracted from the system, the transaction value will be represented in different transaction currencies, how the transactions happen. So for the record, where I purchase some material from US, for that record the transaction value will be in US currency only. And for the record which I procure from Germany, further the transaction value will be in pound currency only. Okay, there will be separate records which will be created against that. Next we have some prerequisites. Every amount in the project is translated as appropriate when you enter it and recorded in the database in all three currencies. Whenever a record or is created or some transaction is done, it is recorded into three currencies, which are controlling area currency, object currency, and transaction currency. So in three values, a report can be represented in the project systems module. And so how you can modify, if I purchase something uh, of about 100 rupees, you say, so I want this to be displayed in dollars. How that translation happens, how system knows so what is uh, translation ratio between rupee and dollar, how system doesn't. So here we need to maintain it some translation rates. That means 1 rupee is equal to uh, so and so dollar. For today I don't know how much, but from my knowledge, $1 is equal to 83 rupees. Okay, and I procured something of 100 rupees. It should be displayed in dollars. It will be some 1.4 around or something like that. How system notes it should be 1.4 only. So we'll enter this translation rates. The translation rates of different currencies will be entered by the business users, will be updated in the system daily. Accordingly, the translation rates are applied to all the records in the system. So this is also one of the prerequisite that is to be maintained if there are multiple currencies are managed in the SAP system. And currency amounts are only updated in parallel if you activate all currencies indicator for the controlling area. So this is one of the primary prerequisite. This is one of you what we can say configuration which is to be enabled. All currencies indicator should be enabled. There will be a checkbox that should be ticked, so that the currencies are all updated in parallel. Like in three different types of currencies, it is updated in parallel when you activate this indicator in the controlling area. Next we have reporting. So for commercial purposes, information system, there is one option in the SAP user manual, which is information system, and it offers different types. So not only for the project systems, for other modules also we have. It provides different types of reports, and we can see in whichever currency we want. Okay, in addition to those, and system also translate the data using latest rates. So yesterday it is one 50 rupees is equal to $1 some years back, and now it is 83 or 84 rupees is equal to $1. So if I want to see some old report, it will show to the today rates. Okay, so in this way, according to the latest rates also, system translates the report report data and shows the latest report. Okay, I think yeah, this is how the introduction of project systems. I hope you got some information from this video. If you have any questions or any comments, please post it in the comment section. I'll be replying back soon. If anybody are interested in watching videos of Telugu version, please let me know in the comment section. Right, I'll be doing Telugu version videos also. Yeah, thank you for supporting me. Please subscribe to my channel, SAP Beginners. Thank you. Signing off today. Bye.